Okay, everyone, I want to thank you all for coming. My name is Michael Flores, and welcome to the M&G Home Business, the relaunch of our twice weekly live webinar. Now, this particular webinar has been a long time coming, and there's been, quite a few reasons why it's taken so long for us to get this relaunched. But the bottom line is here I am, and here we are, and here are over 400 of our members with us tonight, and I really want to thank you all for coming here. And the purpose of this webinar tonight is kind of to plug back in to actually give you access to both myself and Glenn. Unfortunately, Glenn right now is working really heavily and late with our programmers on our systems, and I'm sure many of you who have been logging into your systems over the past few days have noticed that they're logging in much quicker. You're seeing email send stats going out more, and you're going to find that these are going to be improving greatly over the course of the next few days. And what I want to do tonight is just kind of give you an update of what's going on, what's been going on, what's going to happen in the future as M&G Home Business moves forward. And it's really pretty exciting. I know I always say this, but there's a lot of people on this webinar that don't know the history and how we got started here and what happened when we got started. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about that right now. The system that M&G Home Business is providing is actually a system that's been in use for over a decade now. Many of the biggest names in the industry have used it, including Franco Gonzalez and many other names that you may or may not recognize, but the bottom line is that the system has been working for years exactly the way that we give it to you now. Now, when we originally launched M&G Home Business, we only expected to have 50 to 100 people in our first month, and I'm sure many of you have heard this before, but we had thousands at the end of our first month, and we've been growing pretty steadily ever since. Now, we've asked some of our leaders to kind of slow down on the recruiting so that we can get caught up because of some of the things that I'm going to tell you about in just a moment. But what happened was the systems got overloaded, which caused them to start bogging down, which started causing some issues with the way leads were being delivered. And obviously there's no excuses for any of this, but that's just some of the reasons and some of the things that have been happening with the system that many of you have seen. This is the reason for it. Now, over the weekend, just this past weekend, we shut down all of the servers for around 2 hours. And what we did was we added new IP addresses, we added new memory modules, we got rid of a lot of the leads that were just sitting there, nobody was downloading, nobody was using, and it was slowing down the systems. We got rid of those. We put in place some pretty powerful new features to combat the new spam laws and the new software that many of these major ISPs are using to block bulk email. So now with new IP addresses, you're not going to see instant massive results, improvements, but you are going to start seeing a steady improvement in the results of the systems now. Now, all of the IP addresses that we've added to the servers are now being whitelisted, and we have a huge team that's working on getting every IP address whitelisted. But any of you that know anything or have been in the email marketing industry for any length of time knows that it's becoming increasingly difficult to get out mass email. And just to give you an idea of the numbers, we are sending close to 1.5 million emails a day from all of these different servers. All right, so that is a huge undertaking. And because of all these new laws, we've had to put in place a lot of new systems that people don't even know about yet, systems that a lot of other companies don't know about and will struggle with in the future as they catch up to what we're doing here. But because of all of this infrastructure that has to be put in place so that your emails can get into the actual inboxes of the leads that are being loaded into your system, it's taking us some time to get that optimized and get that into place. Another one of the reasons why systems slowed down over the past month was that the actual head administrator of all of these servers was on vacation for 15 days. And he left a team in place to help us, but unfortunately that team was not as savvy as the actual administrator. He's been in place. He's been back now for a week. He's the one that now shut down the servers over the weekend and cleaned them all up. So if you go log into your system now and compare it to when you last week when you were logging into your system, you'll find that you get in much quicker. You'll find that the system moves much quicker from place to place, and it's going to be a heck of a lot less frustrating for you, thus less frustrating for us having to support the fact that they're so slow, and everything there will be moving more smoothly. Now, another thing, our next payday, our pay period is on the 1st. The cutoff period was for the 25th, and those of you that have silver upgrades coming into you, they will be paid out on the 1st, and those of you that have not been paid yet and have commission coming from the 25th back to, when was it, the 1st, you're going to be getting paid on the 1st as well. Now, we've gotten a lot of support requests from people that say that they show paid out, anywhere from $10 to $24 and they didn't know why it wasn't in their e-wallet. The reason for this is, if you look at the payment method, which is the e-wallet, you'll see that the minimum payout is $25. So if you had $20 coming on the last pay period and it shows paid out, don't worry, that's still accumulating, and it will be paid out for you on the 1st should you pass that $25 mark, and most of you that had some money coming have already passed that mark. Now, we can make some exceptions in that, but we would have to deal with those individually. So that's just basically what's gone on over the past few days. Now, what's coming in the very near future is we have an entirely new piece of software being built for us. It's actually, the foundation is already built. What's being put in place now is the integration. So the integration, what I mean by the integration is the integration with your e-wallet and the integration with your marketing system. So that when you log into M&G Home Business, there will be a button for you to get directly into your system, unlike the access your system button that is there right now. And I'm going to show you a couple of things that are there now in just a few minutes. But so when you go into M&G Home Business, you're not going to have, the new members are not going to have to fill out a form to set up their system anymore. They'll have to input their URL and it'll be automatically set up for them. Then they'll be able to access their system directly from the M&G Home Business back office. Also, the e-wallet will be immediately attached to the M&G Home Business back office, and you will be able to use existing funds in your e-wallet to pay for your memberships, to purchase some of the new packages that we're going to be adding, lead packages, phone burner packages, and things like that. So there's a lot of things coming down the pike. Now, I know there's still a lot of things that are really frustrating, and the reason for that is that the software that we have now, it's going to be gone. So a lot of the little bugs that are there, it's just not worth the time and energy or effort or expense that we would have to incur to fix these little bugs. All of these bugs are being worked out in the new software. So when this new software comes into play, it's going to be, it's going to be a much smoother access, much smoother with the features that are included in your membership, going from one type of lead to the other type of lead. Right now, it's just kind of band-aided together to get us through to the point where everything is all integrated. Now, this is a fairly long process. Now, we expected to be able to move into the new software, within the next week to 10 days. This was a month ago. But as we move forward, and anyone who knows anything about this type of integration and the amount of integration that we're doing, our developers have told us that we're still 3 weeks out, could be up to a month out. But we're still piecemealing some of the stuff, like that's my dog walking back and forth. We're still piecemealing some of the stuff so that to make things a little smoother, and the support requests are being turned around much faster. In fact, today I got through all of yesterday's support, and all we have left was what came in today, and we have a person working on that right now. So the turnaround for support tickets is going to be 24 hours. Probably by the end of the day tomorrow, we'll be caught up and be able to answer everyone's support within 24 hours. Now, a lot of the delays have been that we had a few of the wrong people in place. This was because we put it together so quickly, and we had to get rid of several people pretty quickly, over the past 2 weeks. And I've had to pick up that slack, which is kind of back things up a little bit. But I'm almost there. I've got a guy that I'm working with right now, training, that's going to be helping that out extremely. Also, we have a telephone representative, that's several telephone representatives that are going to be coming on in the next few days. They're being trained on the systems, they're being trained on the back office issues, so we'll have the phone support up to par. So everything is coming together slowly but surely, and we're moving forward. So once we have all of this in place, we'll let our leaders go again, and we'll get that momentum back. But right now, we're kind of asked those leaders that we're bringing in, dozens of people, every couple of days, to kind of give us time so that we can support their existing members. Now, for those of you that are frustrated now, we understand you're frustrated. For those of you that are happy, we're glad you're happy. There's one thing I want to make very clear here, is that the leads that you're getting, whether they be the real-time leads or whether they be the daily leads being loaded up in front, there is no better value on the internet for $39.95 a month, whether your leads convert or they don't convert. Those of our members who are downloading and calling 30 leads a day, 40 leads a day from the dailies that are loaded up front, and the people that are actually following up with the real-time leads, they're getting results. But I want you to understand something. $39.95 for 150 real-time leads, they're opt-in leads, or $39.95 for 300, we're actually giving you 400 daily leads. The daily leads that you get, the 300 to 400, they're 15 to 45 days old. If you get in touch with enough of them, you're going to make way more money and way more conversions than your cost. The real-time leads that we're giving now, the 150 to the bronze members and the 750 to the silver members, they fell a little bit behind, but we are going to be catching you up by doubling people's leads and getting everybody caught up to where they should be. But those are opt-in leads from a co-registration path, which means that they're not, let me explain what a co-registration path is, and I'm sure some of you have been on this before, where you go to a site, they have several offers on a page, and you put a check mark in the offers that you're interested in. So in some cases, one of those opt-in leads may put a check mark in debt settlement, and put one in mortgage, and then put one in home-based business. So a lot of people have been contacting us saying, look, I'm contacting these real-time leads, and I'm saying, listen, I got your request for a home-based business, and they're hearing back, no, we didn't request information about a home-based business. In this case, they probably selected debt settlement, or they may have selected information about home improvement and also put in home-based business, but what they were really waiting for was one of the other selections. So what we suggest you do to contact these people is not mention home-based business. Contact them and say, hi, I received the information that you put on the form that you filled out just now, or today, or yesterday, however often you're following up with them, and say, I'm just following up with you based on the form you filled out. I want to see what it is I can help you with and kind of tell you what I'm doing and see if that kind of fits what you're looking for or something you may be interested in. If you approach them immediately about, hey, I'm contacting you about your request for information about a home-based business, you're going to get some of them to say, okay, good, thank you, thanks for contacting me back. But you're also going to get those that say, I don't know what you're talking about, I have no clue. So by going about it in the way I just said, by mentioning the form they filled out online, you're going to get a heck of a lot more of a positive response than you're going to do if you approach them directly with a home-based business. So that has taken care of a lot of support requests we got, and it may help you with your phone contacts or with your follow-up. Now, I want to share some screens here for a second. I want to show you first the back office of one of the systems and distinguish where you get your daily 300 or 400 downloads and where you're going to get your real-time lead downloads, because a lot of people don't know that. So let me get over here and share this screen with you. Hopefully this will work. Okay, yes, good, thank God. All right, so this is the back office of one of the marketing systems. This is my particular system, just kind of a test system that I have in place. Now, this is the autoresponder selection page. So you have here the first autoresponder, which is the one that the daily leads get loaded into. Then they go through the 5-message series, and if they click your link, they get added to your second autoresponder. Now, I know the results haven't been great. In fact, they've been pretty dismal about the amount of click-throughs. But with the new IP addresses in place and the new systems in place, you're going to find that that's going to improve. And before I move on, I want to let you know that the dismal results are not exclusive to M&G Home Business. Over the past 2 months, there have been so many changes that even those people, even AWeber and Constant Contact, have had to pull their sites down and put in new systems in place to be able to get through to these. I don't know if any of you noticed that sometime over the past month when you went to log into your AWeber account, it may not have been there. It was a pretty terrifying thing for a lot of people. Constant Contact had the same thing. But those that have not adjusted are going to be going down and are going to be adjusting once enough of their members start complaining about the lack of results, like our members have been complaining about the lack of results. We are ahead of the curve. We've got a lot of people with a lot of experience who are working with us to get these systems optimized again and get them working well. Now, even with those problems, those that are downloading their leads, I would, anybody who is dissatisfied and thinks that they aren't getting their money worth, I would suggest that you take $39.95 and go anywhere online and try to buy leads for $39.95 and then compare to what you're getting here at M&G. You will not find a better value, period. Okay, so now back to what I was saying. So for those of you that are getting leads daily, this area here is where you can download your daily leads files. And to do that, you simply click on the download here. Oh, I got to log in. All right, let me do this real quick. Sorry about that. Where am I? Let's see here. Of course, it timed me out. All right, so for those of you that are getting the daily leads, you can download them here. And to do that, you can simply click on the download link, and it says download lead file. Now, for those, we get a lot of questions from people that say they don't want the text file that gets exported. They want the .csv file. So to do that, all you do is you right-click on this file, and you say Save Link As. And I'm not sure if this is in the screen share. I sure hope it is. But to save it as a .csv file, there's two. In the Save As, there's a file name, and then below that, there's Save As Type. And when you see the Save As Type, it's going to say Text Document. You click there, click All Files, and then you just simply change the last 3 letters, the .txt to .csv, and click Save. And that will save it as a .csv so that when you double-click that, it'll open in Excel or it'll open in any processor that you have, but it'll be separated by each name. You know, you'll have everything in a separate field, so it'll be easy to manage. So that's one thing. So let me get back here to select autoresponder. Now, for those of you that are getting the real-time leads, they will not be here. We're getting a lot of support requests saying I'm clicking my download leads files and they are blank. You will not download them here. And let me just backtrack one more time. For those of you that get daily leads, okay, sometimes you're going to find that one of your files is blank. It's not going to be often, but there's a supply and demand. When we don't have enough leads for one particular day, some people may not get them. But we are giving you 400 leads a day instead of 300 to cover those missing days. So every day that you get, you know, 3 days you get your leads file, that's a whole extra day of leads. So if you get one blank file per week, you're still getting more leads than are advertised. Okay, so now let me get back to the real-time leads. They are not being placed here. There's a couple of ways you can download them. You can all of real-time leads are going to your personal list. Okay, so they're not going into the first autoresponder. They're going directly into your personal autoresponder. So you can either do one of two things. You can download all of your real-time leads every day here by clicking Download All Leads, and then you will click Backup, and then you get to the same download file where you can right-click Download as CSV or download it as a text. Or you can go directly into your second autoresponder, and you can download them by using the subscribers. You can actually come over here and go to your leads that were generated today. You can see them here, and you have their phone number. You can call them directly from here. You can add notes by clicking on the N here and add notes per phone call, so it's a contact management. Or you can do manage selected like this and move them from autoresponder to autoresponder. Okay, so you can completely manage all of your leads back here in this system. So now, if anybody has questions, you can, right below the video that you're watching now, you can use that form, and I'm going to try to get to as many questions as I can at the end of this webinar. But that should help a lot of the support requests that we're getting. So let me get back to the webinar here and end the screen share. All right, so here I am back again. So I hope that helped clear some of those things up. Now, again, the real-time leads are going to be caught up for those of you that haven't gotten all of them for the month. And in fact, that's what Glenn's working on now. And one of the reasons was because the servers were moving so slowly that as these real-time leads were coming in and being posted, the script that posts the leads was timing out because the servers were taking so long to respond. So now that we have the servers running smoothly, we're able to get everybody's leads loaded in there. Now, if there's anybody still waiting for leads, they will begin very quickly. And I know there's a lot of silver members that have a lot of leads coming to them, and we will be doubling them up or tripling them up and getting you caught up, and we'll probably give you more than you should get over the course of the next 6 weeks, but you'll be getting them. Now, as far as the leads go, there are several different types of real-time leads that we have. And we are going to be adding packages in the back office. And in fact, I'm almost completely done with the page, and it should be posted tomorrow, but no later than the day after, where we are going to have the real-time BizOp leads, which are not co-registration like the real-times that are now. We're going to have real-time redirected leads, which are real-time leads that get directed to your existing website, whichever site you want it to go to. And both these types of leads are going to be added directly to your second autoresponder. Now, these packages are going to be available for bronze members and silver members, and once our new software goes live and we have everything integrated, we are going to be then launching the gold level and the platinum level, and we'll let you know details about those as we move forward. Obviously, we don't want to do that until everything's running perfectly smoothly for every other aspect of M&G. And believe it or not, we're moving in that direction, and things are moving quicker and quicker as we go forward here. As our software development team keeps integrating, we've actually got it on a development server right now, testing integrations, working out bugs. We're going to have a beta test. We have a team of 500 people that are going to be beta testing this and trying to break it for us. So that's really where the extended wait time for the software to be launched happens, because we're really just about a week away from having everything integrated on the development server, but the beta test is going to take 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to try to break it however we can. We're going to try with a test member database of 50,000 people, 100,000 people. We're going to try to break this thing, and once we cannot break it, then we'll let you guys experience it, because the last thing we want is to relaunch with a new software and continue having problems like we did. Many of you who've been with us for a while know that we started with one version of the current software that just was a disaster. Then we upgraded to the new version of the software, and it's been a little less of a disaster. And as we've moved forward, we've kind of fixed some of the issues here, but it's been really difficult on Glenn and myself and our entire team to try to kind of band-aid this together. But we're dedicated to it. We're here for the long haul. I know there's people that have been frustrated that have been leaving, and many of those people that leave now are going to wish they hadn't, because the momentum we had in the beginning will come right back once everything is set up the way it should be. Now, had this company grown the way we expected it to grow, by now we might have a couple thousand members, and we will have been able to keep up with the growth, and there wouldn't have been all these issues. But fortunately or unfortunately, the momentum hit fast, and we were unable. So now we're basically having to kind of hold it together now and then relaunch with the new software, with the capabilities to be able to handle what we know now is going to happen to this company once we get to that point. So we really appreciate all of your patience, and some of your criticism. I mean, we read it all, we take it in, we apply it, we communicate with our software development team and say, hey, we've got a lot of members having this problem. We don't want our members to have this problem anymore once we move over here. So whatever has to be done over on your end, make it happen so that when we do finally launch, that we do not have these problems anymore. And one of those things is a support desk integrated into the M&G back office, with a support team there, with a searchable FAQ, with a searchable to be able to find your issue with a single line and be able to have the solution come up like it should be in place now, but it's just not able to be put in place with the software we have. So all of that stuff is going to be in place, and things will be a heck of a lot better. For those of you that are here now, when that momentum comes back in, you're in a prime position to really cash in on that. Now, for those of you that don't want to wait that long, we understand completely. Again, I want to tell you that even with all the problems we're having, if you just download your leads once a week and call 50 to 100 of them, you'll find that $39.95 or even $139.95 a month for what you have. If take out the system, take out the compensation, just the leads are worth 10 times more than what your monthly subscription is. Now, a lot of you are here have a very large downline, and one of the major issues that we had and still have with the current software is it's really difficult to kind of track your compensation. Now, we have an external the software development team that's putting our software together is now allowing us to export our commissions into a system that they have so that they're calculated correctly. So even though it may be confusing in the back office of M&G, it's being tracked very well on the outside here. And when compensation is paid out, it'll be accurate. You know, obviously, if the software we have now is giving us issues and telling us one thing and exporting something else, then we may still have some, isolated problems with the commissions, but we will fix them. You know, you get in touch with us, you submit a support request. I know the support has not been very good, but like I said, we're about caught up. So by payday, we'll be at a 24-hour turnaround time. So if you have issues there, we're going to be able to fix them. Also, I want to remind every one of you, there hasn't been a really great turnout for this, but we have a daily conference call at noon Eastern Standard Time. And I'll give you that number here in a moment, but I think it's still below your screen. You can call into that conference call at noon Eastern Standard Time, and both Glenn and I, or one of us or both of us, are on that call, and it's specifically for support. So if you have issues and you feel like we're not listening, get on those calls and we take questions. We give you daily updates of what's going on, what's happening. So that should help plug you in and help us communicate with you better and get a lot of these support questions answered in a fashion that's like one-on-one with us. All right. So what I'd like to do now is move into the members area of M&G Home Business and kind of address a couple of the issues that have come up that have been frustrating members. So the first thing I want to talk about is that people using Chrome sometimes will click some of these buttons and be asked to log back in. This is not happening to everyone, but it happens enough for me we get a couple support requests a day, and if you're new in M&G Home Business, then that could be very frustrating and scary to come in and the first thing that happens is to have you get kicked out of your back office. So if you're referring new people, we really want everybody to stay in touch with their referrals. I know for a lot of people it's not possible because you just send out emails or something, or the system signs somebody up for you and you're not really you're not in contact with them. But if you have the ability at all to be in touch with the people in your downline or on your team, make sure they know that if they're having a problem with the back office that could be a Chrome issue, we highly recommend that you use Firefox right now. I know Internet Explorer and Microsoft has a huge security vulnerability right now, so we highly recommend that nobody use Internet Explorer now, but we haven't had problems with Internet Explorer. So once that's patched up and it's not dangerous anymore, we would suggest that you use either Internet Explorer or Firefox. Personally, I'm a Firefox guy. It's the most secure browser. It works well with just about everything out there. I know that Chrome is one that works most of the time, but with our software, our current software, it's been causing some problems. Now, the other thing I want to say is the Access Your System button. This button, you don't have to use it every single time. When you use this button, it takes you to this page where you can input your email address, and it'll take you to your login. Okay? Once you get this login, just bookmark it, so that all you have to do is go to your bookmarks and click to log in. You don't have to use this button to access your system. This is really for, I'm going to change the name of this button to Find Your System. And really it says is Find Your Leads and Message System here. Okay, it's probably a wording issue here. But your system never moves. It's always in the same place, and you would not believe how many support requests we get every single day telling us that our system is down. How come they can't get into their system? When their system is here all the time. It is this button that doesn't work all the time, and the reason for that is we have many new signups every day, so this is attached to a database that gets updated every couple of hours. So every couple of hours, this button will not work for about 15 or 20 minutes, and during that 15 or 20 minutes, we inevitably get 6, 7, 8 support requests asking why they can't get their system when the system is there all the time. Okay, so that's really another one of the major things. Now, for many of you bronze members that have the daily leads and don't want to be calling 300, 30, 40, 50 people a day, you can change your leads by, and I'm here on the home page, okay? You can change your leads by clicking on Lead System and clicking Change Your Leads. I'm in a Silver account right now, so Silver members do not have that here because they select the type of leads that they want when they upgrade to Silver. But a Bronze member, when you log in at home, you'll still have these same options here. You click on Lead System, you can click Change Your Leads, and you'll be taken to a form. Now, we charge $9.95 to switch your lead system from the leads you get from one to another, because that is about what it costs us to get in there, switch the leads, and set up the delivery for the different type of system. So if you switch from daily leads to real-time leads that go to guaranteed subscribers, there's a $9.95 charge. If you switch from that back to daily leads, there is another $9.95 charge. That's not us making money off of you. That is simply a cost issue for us to do that and a time issue for us to do that. We have to pay people to go in there and do that, and that's what we pay them to go in and switch somebody's lead. So that it's not a profit issue. It's not us nickeling and diming you. Now, in the upcoming days, you're going to see another option here that says Lead Packages. And when that option appears, you're going to be able to click that link and be taken to a page that describes the different lead packages and the prices for the different lead packages. Again, we are not making hardly any money. Of course, we're going to be making a little bit of money, but you are going to be getting a deal that's much lower than our individual clients used to pay us to buy these leads from us. They are high quality leads. They are unique to you. When they're redirect leads, they get redirected to your website. When they're real-time BizOps. They are exclusive form-filled BizOp leads that get loaded directly into your personal autoresponder system in real time. So when you get a real-time BizOp lead, that's the lead that is not co-registration. That's the lead that you can call, and they're waiting for your individual phone call. Okay, so there's going to be several different types, including the types that are currently available to choose from, so that you'll be able to see each individual type of lead, and you'll be able to know exactly what type of lead you want and what price there are. Okay, so I think that's about everything I want to cover in the members area right now. Remember, we have these calls on a daily basis, so let me close this out. The screen share, and what I want to do now is take a look, and if anybody has any questions, I'd like to get to those now. Now, I'm not going to be answering any rude, obnoxious questions. If you have a question regarding any part of your business or M&G, I'm going to get to those right now. So I'd like to say hi to Guy Reynolds, who's here, to Mr. Yusuf, who's right here from Malaysia. Well, thank you for joining us. Their webinar site is saying that error occurred. I am not seeing that. In fact, I actually see that there is no error. I hope, Andre, that you can see it now. So, all right, we have James Whitfield. All right, I have a couple questions. I can only see what emails my active leads are on when I click Select All, click All on Manage. Is there another way to accomplish this? I'm not able to see who is opening the emails from the autoresponder. I added the TK URL tag. Did I do something wrong? The TK URL tag, I really am not familiar with, to be brutally honest with you. So what I'm going to do, James, is I am going to forward this over to Glenn. But let me just go back into the webinar here, and let me see if I can do a quick screen share to see if I can find that with you here on. So what you can do here by subscribers is you can view by next message due. You can view by custom questions, view by demographics. Let me see. I think there's also another way. No. So I'm not sure if that really helps at all. You can view by next message. Maybe I'm not understanding your question. What I'm going to do with this, let me get back over here. What I'm going to do with this, James, is I'm going to actually copy your question now. I'm going to forward it over to Glenn, and I'm going to have an answer for you either tomorrow on the daily call, or if you're on the daily call, hopefully I'll have an answer for you then. But we're also going to have another webinar like this on Thursday. It's going to be at the same time, and I'll send out the link to register for it tomorrow morning. So we'll post that on our Facebook, we'll post that on our forum, and we'll have it in an email go out. So I'm sorry I can't answer that. Glenn would be able to answer that for you, but like I said, he's working on the systems. I hope that helps, James. I know I wasn't very helpful with that, but I will get an answer for you. We have Ron Pescatore. Why am I not able to upgrade to silver? I have no idea, Ron. Let me go back in here real quick, and let me do something. And let me actually go back. I'm going to set something up, and then I'm going to do a screen share real quick. I want to get into a bronze account now, so that I can show you how to upgrade. I'm not sure why you'd be having an issue with that, but let me just get in here real quick and see. Let me be members, and let me get into a bronze account. I hope nobody minds, but let me get in here. All right. Okay, so let me do the screen share and open up that screen share here. All right, so to upgrade, you simply go to account, right? You go to upgrade, click upgrade account, you select silver. It explains the silver membership. You select a payment method, and I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do this for this account. And then you click yes to update your billing record and continue. That should be all there is to it. If you're having some sort of an issue with that as a bronze member, I wouldn't know what that is, and we really have to kind of look at it with you and see if there's a way that we can work it out. But as far as I know, nobody else is having problems upgrading, so I'm not sure why you would. But you know, with our software, the current software thing, there could be a bug in there. It may be an issue if you're using Chrome, so maybe that is the issue. So we'll get on. I'm going to move on. Hopefully that helped, Ron. If not, then we'll have to look at your individual situation. Okay, now we have Joan Hall. Joanne or Joan Hall, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I received spillover in my M&G right leg. Thank you. In order for that to mean anything, do I have to sponsor someone myself in the left leg? No, Joan. When you receive spillover, there's something that everybody has to understand, and this is a great question. But let me just make sure I'm looking at you when I'm speaking. Okay, I think I have a screen share here. Joan, that's a great question. When you get spillover, that's from somebody else's referral. Somebody above you referred somebody, and they fell into your matrix. Now remember, the first payment goes 100% to the person that referred them. So you're not going to get paid on spillover until they pay their first month renewal. But you do not have to sponsor anybody to receive payment on them. So you will begin to earn commissions on your downline's first monthly renewal. So there's going to be a point system in the new software where everyone's going to have a certain amount of points to receive commission from their downline. Now we're going to make that as easy as possible. It's going to be attached to your monthly payment and just being active, but legally we have to do that, and that's being implemented into the new system. But as for now, that system's not in place. So as long as we can hold off until we get our new software, we're going to have no problems, and we've already spoken with several people that assure us that that's not going to be an issue. Right now, the size of our member base is not really going to cause any problems, and that's one of the reasons we've had some of our leaders kind of slow down on the referrals, and we thank them for that. We know they're itching to go, and we're itching to let the horses out of the corral, so to say. But we really need to have everything in place so that from the point on our relaunch forward, everything runs like a well-oiled engine. We do not want to continue on the way we've been continuing on, and we know you don't either. So I hope that answered your question. Now, let's see here. Is this webinar being recorded? Yes, it is. The webinar is being recorded, Ron, and I'll have this posted in the members area. I'll have it on the training page. We'll have it in our forums. We'll put it up on the Facebook page, and we'll link to it, via email. So yeah, it's being recorded so that anybody who was not able to make it here today, but let me just kind of get an idea. So right now we have 206 people on it. We started with a little more, so I guess I've bored a few of you to death, which is pretty par from the course. I can get pretty long-winded sometimes, but yeah, it's being recorded. Okay. We have Robert Bolton here. Real-time leads are flowing into my third autoresponder. Wasn't sure how to compose an HTML message series in order to contact leads. Yeah, here, let me show you. It's real simple. Let me get back over here and do a screen share back into the marketing system. And where is that marketing system? Okay, here it is. Hopefully I won't have to re-log in again. All right, so let's say we're here in your autoresponder, and you have people going into autoresponder. Oh, did I share that screen or not? Yes, I did. Okay, good. So you have people going into your third autoresponder. All right, so in order to compose a message to get to have them receive them, you're in your autoresponder. So you go to messages, view, edit, add messages. Okay, so you're gonna, what I always suggest, and really with the new spam laws and the new rules in place that are blocking people's messages, I suggest that you use plain text. But if you want to use HTML message, you can simply go to the HTML message, you compose a new message. The first message you compose is going to be saying send immediately. That's what you want, so that as soon as a real-time lead is added, they get the message. You write your subject, first name, you have all the codes here. By clicking here, you can see all of the codes like first name, last name, you know, their phone. You can merge all kinds of different things in here. But I always use first name because you get a much higher open rate with a subject line that includes their first name. I also like to include their first name in the hello first name. Now, when you're adding URLs in the training section of the members area, you'll see that you have your custom URL tags here. You want to put the URLs you want to use in this autoresponder in the custom URL tags. So say you want M&G Home Business there, and you want M&G Conference there, and you want a different URL here, or a different URL. As many URLs as you're going to use, you want to have them here in the My URL tags. If you don't, and you place them directly in your message, then you're not going to be able to track the clicks. So you always want to do a message, say, let's just say, hi first name, and this is just briefly to get through this. Click my link here, and you got to use the code for the URL, my URL 1, my URL 2, my URL 3, based on what URL you want to show. So that when you send out this email, they see that URL. They don't actually see the domain name, but there's a link that they can click that will log and track through the system. So you'll know when people are clicking your links and when people are not. Now, the same goes for in your plain text message. Anybody who does an HTML message, I want you to always get in the habit of copying that and putting it down here, because the system will know if an HTML is being blocked, and it will automatically send the text message. Now, some ISPs, some ESPs, email service providers, will not block the HTML at the server level. So they'll block an HTML message at the delivery level, which means that sometimes our system won't know that an HTML message is not going to make it, and we won't send the text message. So a lot of your HTML messages may be blocked. For those of you that are sending pure HTML messages, you're never going to get the same response that you're going to get if you send both HTML and plain text, and you're never going to get as good of a response as those that send only plain text. Obviously, HTML is prettier. HTML is much nicer. If you can get through, you probably get a better response, but you're probably going to get half as many emails in the inbox as someone who's only sending plain text. Now, even in a plain text email, you still want to use the My URL tags. Okay, you don't want to put your URL http://mnghomebusiness.com. I mean, it'll work, but you won't know when somebody clicks. And one of the big things about email marketing is that you have to test, optimize, test, and optimize and test. That's why what we always suggest is that what a lot of people are coming back here and doing is what they're, and you know, before I do that, let me finish this here. So when you save your message, right? You save your message, you now have one message. There it is. Thank you for visiting my site. When you create your second message, you're going to put this either 1 day after the last message, 2 days after the last message, or 3 days after the last message. For your first couple of messages after you get your real-time lead, I would suggest first, obviously, I would suggest that you first call them. Try to get in touch with them and build the relationship on the phone. But if you can't, for the first few days, I would suggest sending them a short message saying, thank you for filling out the form online. I'm just contacting you to get in touch with you to make sure you're getting the information you need. This is my name. This is what I do. If you're interested in finding out more, here's my phone number, or you can visit my website here. Something short and sweet there. And then the next day, maybe, so you put a 1 there, so it'll be 1 day, and say, did you get my message in the subject line? And then your message. Remember my URL tags, all right? And remember the plain text message, all right? But One of the biggest mistakes people make is they send 10 days in a row of messages. And I don't know about you, if some person sends me the same message 10 or like messages more than 3 or 4 days in a row, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit remove, or I'm going to say this is ridiculous, this is spam. The best way to build a long-term successful list is to not pound them with, this is my business, you need to sign up, you need to make money, you need to do this, click this link, click this link. Build a relationship with them. Introduce yourself in the first message. Maybe say in the signature, put your link. Don't even try to sell them anything. Just ask if they're getting the information they need. Then a couple days later, send another message. Hi, it's me again. I just wanted to let you know that starting a home-based business can really help you get out of this economic downturn that's ongoing. I don't want to get into politics, but that's ongoing in the economy all over the world. I can help you with that. Here's my phone number. I just want to make sure you're getting the information, blah, 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 blah. And then just slowly build that relationship and introduce them to your businesses. But you don't want to pound them, because that's what everybody is doing. And me personally, if someone, the first sentence in an email that I get says, oh, you want to make $1 million? Click here. I'll remove that person and block that person and automatically make that person go to my junk email box no matter whenever I get an email from them. So I know I kind of went off on that, but that's how you create an HTML message. And then when you click save, all right, well, I didn't write anything. All right, duh, I didn't write anything. All right, and then my plain text message, of course, I'm going to copy this and paste it down here, and then I'm going to click save. So now you return to the message editor. Now I have one that goes out immediately, 0 days, and then I have one that goes out 1 day later, so the very next day. So when I create my next message, I'm going to make sure that's 2 days apart. And typically you want to set it, the optimal way is once every 3 days for the first week to 10 days, then once every 5 days after the second week, third week, then once a week after that. And then what you can do is in your personal, with these real times or in your personal lists, you can do the send mail, and you can mail all the subscribers. So once you have, like in your second or third autoresponder, you can send an email, and you send an email the same way that we just created an HTML, message. If I send a mail all subscribers, I can send the HTML message, and it's exactly the same as creating a new message. The only difference, it doesn't ask you when you want to send it. When you finish the message and you click send mail, it goes out to all of your subscribers. So that's not something that's available in the first autoresponder. For those of you that are getting 300 to 400 leads daily, you can't do that until they're on your personal list. So if you want to maximize the usage of the systems back here, you're going to have to wait until you have an opt-in list of your own, or you can switch your leads to the guaranteed subscribers, and that will be available to you. So I hope that answered your question. There's a couple people writing questions here in big capital letters. I'm just going to ignore those. I think that's, to me, it's yelling, so I'm just not going to deal with it, all right? So Robert Bolton, I hope that answered your question. So that'll be your training. So Reg, I would like to have explained the website stats, unique hits, fits. Do I understand it correctly? Where just that there are people that have clicked on our affiliate? Yes, Reg. I don't know if I read that properly. I kind of skimmed through it. The website stats. Let me see. Let me get back over here real quick. Now, the website stats with this software, I've had a couple of support requests saying that some stats have stopped. But I went into the back and I checked a bunch of people that I know are advertising. And let me get out of this person's account. It's kind of rude of me to use their account. So let me go back into the corporate account and sign in as that user. The website statistics. when you see website stats here, the unique hits and footprints are people that have actually, are all the individual, or not the individual, they are the hits to your website that are not from the same IP address. For example, if you're using a safe list, or you send out a bulk email, or you're sending traffic from, say, Facebook, for example, Facebook will show there'll be a ton of hits, but they won't be unique footprints. So you could have 100 hits from Facebook, and it'll only show as one unique footprint. When you see unique hits, these are all individual hits that have gone to your site from, like this particular one that I clicked on came from that IP address. So you can actually see what IP address they're coming from. So those are the unique clicks to your website, your M&G Home Business website. The top referrals will be where you see, like, for example, if they're coming from Facebook, you'll see Facebook. They're all coming from Facebook. So we have a lot of people coming from mnghomebusiness.net, which I have no idea why. It's not anything we even monitor. I guess it just has a search engine thing. We have people coming from Bing, from Google, from Swiva, from My Total Success One, which is one of the systems we have in place, from the Warrior Forum, from Facebook, 2.70%, Swiva, 28%. So Swiva, I don't even know what that is. It's coming in pretty heavy. But yeah, that's where the referrals. Then you can look at statistics and graphs. Now here's a real cool thing. When you see, like, some hits here, if that hit in that same session signs up, you'll see yes, that person signed up. So when you go to conversion history, you search by date and you'll see the people that have converted here. So you can actually track conversions to your site. And I don't want to spend too much time back here because, you know, really we're not happy with the tracking in the current software. It'll be much more robust in the new software. So I hope that answered your question. Let me end this real quick. All right, so Reg, I hope that answered your question. Do you have email swipe to promote the M&G biz? Yes, actually, and I'll show you at least, let me see here. Let me get back over here and do another screen share. I'm not going to be able to get to too many more questions here because we're running a little late, and I don't want this to just go on endlessly. But let me do this real quick for you. So, marketing toolbox here. We have banners and text links. Okay, that's nothing great. All right, so if you want a banner, you can, or if you want a banner, we have several banners back here, and to do that, you know, you go to website, then you go to the marketing toolbox, and you have banners. You can use these banners by simply copying this code and pasting it anywhere. We have a great thing here to be used with a Facebook timeline. You know, I would just suggest you right-click here and save the image as, and then upload it. But if you want to use it as is, it will actually refer you to your personal website. By copying this code, you can paste this image anywhere on a website, copy this code, and it'll actually direct to your website. Then you also have these banners, and you can use them the same way. We have a heck of a lot more that you can do that we'll have for you in the very in the new system that we have in place. But for now, the only stuff that we have for you is your lead system. We have on the home page here, you have the lead system option. You can go to M&G message series, and we have here 5 messages that you can just copy and paste into your autoresponders. And you can take any one of these individual emails and send them out if you like them. Here's the instructions that you will need step by step to use them in your autoresponders. So what I suggest you do is you come back here, you just copy this entire thing, open up a notepad or WordPad, however you want, paste it in there, then you go log into your autoresponder system and create the messages exactly like I just showed you in just my last answering the last question. So that's what we have now. When we have, I really have, I do all the copywriting and a lot of the design stuff back here. I just haven't had time to write any more emails, but there will be more coming in the very near future. Plus, we're going to have new landing pages, new capture pages that you'll be able to use with your marketing system. So you'll be able to use this one particular capture page, you'll select it, advertise it, and it'll capture people directly into your marketing system and forward them to your sign up page. So all this stuff is coming in the coming month and months. I always keep my fingers crossed, because when they give me an ETA on these things, I kind of take that with a grain of salt at this point, just from my experience over the past couple of months. So let me see if there's any quick questions I can answer here. I hope that answered your question, Stan. Thanks for being here. When people join, is the monthly billing set up automatically? Yes, it is. The monthly billing is set up automatically, and that's a great question, because we have a lot of people, when you log into your members area, you see that message up at the top towards the end that your billing is coming due. And what people have done is they've clicked Pay Now, and they've created a second billing method. And our software doesn't cancel the previous billing method. So we're getting a lot of people being billed twice, so we have to go in and cancel the previous billing. We have to refund that payment, and it's really a pain in the neck. But it's automatically created. It's tracked fairly consistently with the current software, but it'll be very well tracked with the new software. So yeah, it's automatically done. Do not click Make Payment unless for some reason your other payment failed, or you want to change your payment method. Like if you want to go from credit card to PayPal or PayPal to credit card, you can go in and click Make Payment, and it'll ask you if you want to update your billing, and you just click yes. I would suggest just leaving it, because with the current tracking system, you may be double billed, and that's not a problem. We can refund it. But if you're on a shoestring budget and you get double billed from us, it's probably going to piss you off, and it has pissed people off, and they've blamed us for it. It is our fault. It's not something that we have any control over at the current time, but we do. It is our fault. So if that's happened to you, we're sorry, but we are refunding without question double payments and things like that. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. I'm going to kind of go through here. Cash paid directly to our bank. You know what? I don't have time. Right now it's already 10:30. I wanted to keep this at about an hour, so I'm just going to do shout outs to Russ and Soraya and Tom Nelson and Guy Reynolds and John Gredick and David Reed. I know David Reed's been with us for a long time. It says my system is still suspended to having 2 accounts. Have sent requests to delete extra account. David, I answered this support request. When your system is suspended, it is not your M&G account that is suspended. If you have a suspended account, you also have, if you have a suspended marketing system, you also have an active marketing system. If you have 2 systems, we do not cancel the original one that you had. Now, David, I know I answered this support request earlier today, so check your email. I'm sure you'll see it there. Okay, I got another, and this is a good one. Reggie Franks, whenever I call at noon, I get the message that the call is full. Yeah, we've added more lines. I've also gotten rid of that message because that message is wrong. The system was pulling up a wrong message. You can click past that, but tomorrow you're going to get a different message. They are not full. You can still click right past it to enter. You can just enter in that code 353459, and it'll take you right past that message if for some reason you see that. So thank you for asking that. I meant to bring that up today, but you shouldn't get that message tomorrow. Reggie, I'm sorry if you've tried to get in touch with us and been discouraged by that message, but it was incorrect. It was a recording that I did for one call that was full that I had to bounce off and make that recorded message, and for some reason it didn't go away at the end of that call. Probably my fault, but it won't be there anymore, Reggie. So thanks for asking that question. Please explain the process not ended. Okay, Lorna Walker, I want to answer this question. Would you please explain the process of not having to do anything and still get signups? Now, I don't know where everybody's getting that. I have a feeling that there's a miscommunication, or some of the people that are recruiting people are telling people that you don't have to do anything to get signups. Our marketing system will get you signups eventually. But we have people contacting us, they're all pissed off within the first 30 days because they don't have spillover and they don't have signups to either their existing offer or to M&G Home Business. Let me dispel that right away. There is no such thing as a home business that doesn't require work, okay? Our system will build your list, but you have to work your list to make it produce the way you want it to produce. We've put in generic messages in there, and if you put in M&G Home Business, those generic messages will send people to M&G Home Business if they decide they want to click your link. And if you're lucky, you'll get a sign up. If you're lucky, you'll get 2 signups. And in the past, we've even averaged, for some programs and for this program, where people have averaged 1 sign up per month. But there's no guarantee for that at all. I do not want anybody telling their referrals that they can sign up and do nothing. If there was a business out there where you could sign up and do nothing and make money, I'd be doing that, and we would have never started M&G Home Business. Your business will grow in exact proportion to the amount of effort you put into it. This business gives you the ability to do things that other businesses don't, because we give you the leads that you can contact. We give you subscribers that you can reach out to and that you can contact. But until you're willing to put in the effort, you're really going to be relying on other people's efforts for your success, and that's not a good recipe to succeed. Now, we give you the leads and we do things here that other people don't, and this business honestly is a heck of a lot easier than almost any other business, at least that I've been involved with, and the results that our members are getting and people referring people are getting is testament to that. But I would not suggest that anyone stay here expecting to make money from M&G Home Business or any other business by just signing up. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Lorna. That said, minimal effort will get you maximum results here. And what I mean by minimal effort, call 10 people a day. Call 10 of your leads a day. Call 5 of your leads a day. We're also going to be adding Phone Burner to that same page that has the leads options that I mentioned earlier. So you'll be able to use Phone Burner directly with your marketing system with the leads you get there, and that'll help you make lots more calls in a much shorter period of time. So we have, I know I mentioned this on one of our calls the other day and on a webinar that I did last week. We were going to add them directly back to the back office of the marketing systems, but we didn't want to put anything back there that was going to slow down our what's now moving quickly. So I'm building the page that's going to have the different lead packages that you can buy, but it's also going to have the Phone Burner. And for those of you that didn't watch that other webinar, the Phone Burner is typically $150 a month. If you go to phoneburner.com, you can get your account for $150 a month. We have a deal for $99 a month, so we're going to save you $50. We don't make a dime on that. That's what we have to pay for the account. Because we have to pay for that account, we're also going to require a $99 security deposit. So to get a Phone Burner account from our back office, you're going to have to pay the $99 first month and the $99 security deposit. Now, if you cancel your subscription with us, with the Phone Burner, before your next month begins or before any future month begins, you get that security deposit back. So you'll have to continue paying the $99 a month, but as long as you can't cancel that Phone Burner account and don't just abandon it, you'll get that $99 security deposit back when you unsubscribe. The reason we have to do that is because if someone gets the Phone Burner account and they tell us 5 days after the fact that they're not going to pay their subscription, we still have to pay that $99, and we'll use that security deposit to do that. It's not for us to get more money out of your hands. It's just so that we don't have to pay for other people's systems, okay? So that will be back there. So yeah, that was kind of a long answer to Lorna. All right, so Guy Reynolds, John, David Reed, Lorna, welcome, Barbara Bishop, Dwayne Mobley. Dwayne, thanks for being here, man. I know you've been here with us for a long time. Ron Begin, I know, Ron, you've been here for a while. Papiloa, I should probably put on my glasses, but they're ugly. Ron Pescatore, Guy Reynolds, Saiful, Yusuf, I'm sorry. Welcome here. I see that you have some issues, a question here. I'll get to that after, I'll contact you after the fact. We got Orban, Joanne, Ed, Jessica. I'm sorry I can't get to all of these questions. If you have important questions to be asked, get on our call tomorrow at noon. Okay, tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time. Write down this number right now. It is 712-432-3066. Again, that number for noon from Monday through Friday, noon Eastern Standard Time, 712-432-3066. When you're on that line, you enter the code 353459. That code again is 353459. So that's every single day, Monday through Friday at noon. Either Glenn or myself will be on that call. Most times it'll be both of us, so that if you have a question for the marketing system that I can't answer, Glenn can usually take care of it. Then I handle the back office, most of the back office issues. So I hope everybody's gotten a lot out of this webinar. It's gone a little longer. Now, here's the thing. I didn't get to everybody's question, but we're going to be holding these webinars twice a week. The next one is going to be Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if I didn't get to your question this time, maybe I'll get to it next time. If I don't get to it on one of the webinars, you can get on one of our daily conference calls. All right, now the conference calls daily are just for members. Don't bring a prospect unless you let that prospect know that it's for members. We're not going to be answering questions for people that want to know how they can sign up. Okay, that's not what the calls are for. The calls are for making your life in M&G easier and more profitable, less frustrating, and more smooth running. So those calls are for you, the member. Now, these webinars, I have no problem if you want to bring prospects onto this, because the way this presentation works, I'm obviously addressing a lot of people, and I have no problem disclosing the issues that we have to prospects and stuff. If you bring a prospect to one of these member calls, they may hear something that they don't want to hear. So we're going to be starting opportunity calls either next week or the following week. But for the next couple of weeks, I want to focus on just getting back in touch with you guys and answering your questions, giving you updates, and keeping you in the loop of what's going on. So I know there's still questions here that are unanswered. I can't get to them now. I want to have this video manageable so people can get to it. If you came to this video late, if you look at the bottom of that video that you're watching right now, you can scrub back and forth, so you can actually rewind it all the way back to the beginning. And people that came here late, when you click play, I believe it starts from the beginning. But if you got up and left and you want to see something that you missed, you can go back and look at that as well. So the video will be available in the back office, in the training section tomorrow. It'll be on Facebook tomorrow. There's also a webinar replay, so if you're signed up, and well, obviously if you're not here now, then you're not going to hear what I'm saying, but those people that missed it are going to get a reminder that they can watch the webinar again starting tomorrow, and every day after the fact you can come right back to the same page and watch it at any time. So I'm going to sign off for now. I want to thank you all for coming. Hundreds of people here. I'll send out the email in the morning. I'll post on Facebook and in our forum where you can register for the next webinar. It's going to be right here on this domain. It's going to be on at the same time Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. and I'll look forward to it. So with that, I'm going to sign off and thank you all for being here. Sorry, I just hit my camera. So thanks a lot. Michael Flores signing out.